AAA predicts that more than 34 million people will take to the road this Memorial Day weekend to kick off the start of summer because of lower gas prices, rising personal income, and a stronger labor market. The National Safety Council predicts that 439 people will die and that another 50,500 will be seriously injured nationwide. Welcome everyone to our 24th Philadelphia Accident and Injury Google Hangout. My name is Steve, and today Rand Spear, Philadelphia's accident lawyer, will be joining us to talk about how to stay safe behind the wheel this Memorial Day weekend. Hi Rand, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Steve. How are you? I'm looking forward to a nice long weekend. The weather is beautiful, it's hot and sunny, and everyone here is excited for the long Memorial weekend.
Me too, and I'm hoping you're going to tell me how I can stay safe.
Absolutely.
So Rand, as Philadelphia's accident lawyer for more than 30 years, I'm sure you've seen your share of car accidents. Can you give us some tips on how to stay safe this weekend?
Absolutely. This is a very big weekend, and unfortunately, a lot of people like to have a good time, and part of having a good time sometimes involves the consumption of alcohol. And so a big ticket item is to make sure that there's a designated driver. Do not even have one or two drinks or beers and get behind the wheel. Be safe this weekend. If you want to go and have a good time, let one person agree that they're not going to have any alcohol and they're going to be the designated driver. And that way, everyone can have a good time and everyone can get home safe. And then, of course, the obvious reasons. Wear your seatbelts. Seatbelts do, in fact, save lives. I've seen so many cases where if they were not wearing their seatbelts, the injuries were much worse, horrific injuries. You're almost like a ball rolling around the inside of a car. So be safe. Buckle up. Wear a seatbelt. If you're operating the vehicle, please put down the cell phone. Don't talk on it. Don't text on it. Don't be distracted. Simply put it away, and when you get home, you'll have plenty of time to take out that cell phone and talk on the phone all you want. So those would be my 3 hot tips for this weekend to stay safe.
Yeah, those are great tips, Rand. You know, in the past, we talked about where the most common places for car accidents are. Can you refresh our memory a little bit? It's been a while since we talked about that.
Absolutely. Believe it or not, most accidents happen close to home, maybe within 4 or 5 miles of your residence. So don't think just because you're going to run to the store, you're going to run around the corner, or you're going to do an errand that you shouldn't be safe. You should still take the same precautions. Buckle up. Don't utilize that cell phone. Don't have a drink and then drive around the corner or wherever it is you think you want to go to and come right back. Because generally, they're intersectional areas, they're smaller streets, they're not all controlled by traffic control devices, and they're more predisposed to accidents. So what we see is most people get in accidents very close to where they live. It's contrary, it's not on the highway, it's not far away from home, even though accidents do happen in those areas as well. But just recognize that when you're in your neighborhood, you also have to take all of the necessary safety precautions.
Yeah, you know, I bet people get so complacent when they're near home. They think they know the area. They're not paying as much attention, and I'll bet that contributes to it.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are the most common injuries, and how serious can they be with some of these car accidents, Rand? What have you seen?
Well, as you said earlier, it's so upsetting to know that this weekend so many people are going to lose their lives. And it's just so discouraging, you know, to get calls next week. It really is. And so if there's anything we can do to make people safer and just slow down a little bit, don't be in such a hurry. You're going to get where you need to get. There's just no rush. Slow it down, enjoy the ride, enjoy the weather, enjoy yourself, and just don't be in such a rush, especially at night. At night, maybe you can see perfectly, but not everyone on the roadway can really see perfectly. I find with accidents, a lot of them are neck and back injuries. A lot of people sustain what are called herniated discs, tear in your spinal area as a result of a whiplash and being thrown around in the vehicle due to the severity of the impact. You know, you can even have a minor impact and still sustain very serious injuries. Many people end up, they hit their knees on the dash and they get tears in their knees or their shoulder from hitting the seat belt. So injuries happen in a whole host of ways. You just have to be very careful. If you are injured, what you want to do is get proper medical treatment right away, get yourself checked out, make sure you're okay, and then follow up and call an attorney.
Okay. And about calling an attorney, how does your firm go about proving a driver is liable for an accident and injuries to your clients, and how do you try and maximize the results for your clients?
Well, it really comes down to the evidence. And so what do we look at? We look at the scene of the accident. Who had the right of way? Who had the red light or the green light? You know, many of these accidents occur at intersections. So you really want to gather as much information as you can. Is there a video camera in the area? Are there any witnesses that could help us to identify exactly how the accident happened? You know, if it's a rear ender, it's pretty easy to prove the facts of that case. But when you start dealing with intersections, it becomes a little bit more challenging. So to the extent that you could take pictures of the intersection on your cell phone, pictures of your car, pictures of the other party's car, all of those factors we utilize in putting together the necessary evidence to prove that the defendant or the other party caused the accident and is responsible for what occurred to our clients. And that's really what we do. We also work with the doctors to find out what the extent of someone's injuries are. Are there diagnostics? Are there MRIs? Are there x-rays? Are there fractures? Are there tears? And we basically, step by step by step, very methodically, put together a complete picture of how this accident has impacted our clients' lives. And that's what really has the value and entitles a client to be compensated for what happened to them when the quality of their life is just not the same as it was before the accident.
Fantastic information, Rand. If you've got a case in Pennsylvania or New Jersey related to any accident or injury, please call Rand Spear, the accident lawyer, at 888-373-4LAW, or visit the firm at randspear.com. Thanks again, Rand, for sharing your experience and knowledge with our audience, and have a wonderful holiday weekend. I want to thank everyone for participating today, and I invite our audience to come back and hang out the next time when we'll be discussing a new and important topic. And let me add just one thing, and that is information contained in this video should not be construed as legal advice. Content is for information purposes only. Nothing contained herein shall constitute an attorney-client relationship. Thanks and be well.